So little do they know, my one of my kids can snap their fingers, and I don't mind taking your life. I mean, literally, I remember I told my 6-year-old daughter that,
Good,
and I remember
good
her mother was
content
like,
for this would be good content
"All right,
for the show. It really would be. I'm just
Well,
saying.
listen, the show has already started. So, ladies and gentlemen, you
Okay.
popped in on us. We had these little conversations before. We be trying to save it up, but you know what? Sometimes it don't work. So, we're gonna start the show off. This is You Ain't Shit for Watching. I'm your host, Donnie. At several points during the show, you're gonna say, you know what? He ain't shit. She ain't shit. They ain't shit. Well, I just want you to know you ain't shit for watching. So ultimately, what we're gonna do is we're gonna break it down. Who's on the panel from left to right? First, I'm gonna start out with my main man, Judge. Go ahead and bring him up to speed and who you are.
well, everybody knows I'm Judge, former host of the You Dig and Debating Wolves, Judge Dre." Well, we're gonna sit here. We're gonna sit here now and talk about the current events and episodes going on. Go ahead and go through the panel, brother man.
All right, Nardine, what's popping? What's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah, it's Nurdine the meme, you know, basically just looking at how everything is popping off and how everything is. I'm not saying what they're doing is right. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. Like there has to be some sort of middle ground here. And I do have a lot of friends in law enforcement, and I do. Sometimes they tell me they don't want to, like, they're like, listen, I don't want to pull this guy over right now. I'm not, I'd rather just get through the day. But sometimes they get provoked. Like a lot of things, it's not just with our people, it's also what they have to go through as far as like these active shooter events, which are happening in frequency now. It's not like it's stopping, it's growing in mass numbers. And if there's an active shooter near you, you would be happy to have a cop near you to stop that guy. I'm not saying what they're doing is right or wrong. And I also look at it from this perspective. If you're ever faced with something like that and they can't get there in time, I always hear that you are your first responder when an active shooter happens. So that's how I look at it. That's because you have to be able to save your own life until they get there. So, and
Mhm.
it takes a while for them to get there. And when they do get there, then they have to assess the situation, see what's going on, find out where that shooter is or how that shooter's acting. And then they don't know if that shooter has a rifle, a bazooka, a bomb or anything like that. So, I'm not, and also with them, messing with people, I don't think that's right either. So, messing with us and everything like that. But, if you get pulled over and you are, in a calm situation, in a situation, don't argue with them. Just let them do what they do. If you have a warrant on you, if you know you have a warrant on you, just go peacefully. Don't fight them, because then they'll have a reason to fight you. The best thing to do is, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Go with them, live to fight another day, and that's that. You keep fighting like that, you may end up with some bullets in you. That's all I got to say.
Mhm.
But
Damn, he
I
came
also
on strong like he was under the payroll. Brother, you're not an informant, are you? I
no,
just
no.
got to
What I'm
check.
saying is just use common sense. That's all I'm asking for. Just use a little common sense.
But
And
Okay, we just
aren't
also,
you a
checking.
cop, Nordine?
huh?
Aren't you in the law?
I'm just saying, just to go home at the end of the day. Y'all both
Oh,
want to go home at the end
If
of
you
the
got a
day.
warrant, you ain't about to go home.
right. You right
Even,
about that
You
too.
going home.
even if you have a warrant, if it's a petty child support warrant, just go with them. Stop fighting. You know, because you're gonna fight, get two bullets in you, and then you're gonna get a small memorial service. You won't know anything about the defendant. So us as
Yeah.
black men, I've been pulled over a couple of times. I didn't act. It's how you act. And if you say, "Well, hey, how you doing? Here's my license," blah 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 blah. Most of the time, you're like, "Listen, just slow down," and that's that. But if you know you got a warrant on you, just go with them, because I'm seeing a lot of these
I'm
guys who got warrants on them and they pulling out guns and start fighting them. I'm like that. I'm like, you jackass. And then I'm like, you wonder why you're getting shot. Like,
no. I'm gonna tell
You know
you
what,
this.
Darren?
Wait a minute. No,
I'm
no,
glad he got
you
his
wrong
perception.
on that, buddy.
Yeah, I'm
uh-huh.
glad he got his perception.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
No,
about
I
to
ain't
say you got
Listen,
a
told
nobody's
you.
totally
coming to
fucked up. Think about it. From what I hear, if I like just give an example, I ain't
Mhm.
never seen. Every time I see the cops getting cocky with motherfucker, I can see you getting cocky with a motherfucker who got a
No,
gun or
I'm not.
whatever.
I'm.
I don't,
I'm
I
not
see
saying
them
you should.
shooting motherfuckers without guns. Now, what the fuck does that mean?
No,
I'm sorry, dog.
I'm not saying what they're doing is right. You shooting somebody without a gun or whatever. If they don't post a gun up to you, at least throw your flashlight at the guy, throw your radio. don't don't risk. I would say this: don't risk your career over that.
Well, the fact is, what you mean? There ain't no damn risk of career. All you do is shoot a motherfucker, and then you get paid vacation.
Well,
Well, you know what?
Mm.
You know what? I think y'all got to go with what's the context of the situation? Because if you have a warrant, you're already quote unquote going down criminal line anyway. Now, if you talking about the car pulling over a person for no reason, that's a totally different thing.
That's a totally different thing. There's everything is situational. If they run, if
they pull you over and you know you ain't did nothing, if you know you've done nothing wrong, and a cop pulls you over and there's nothing wrong with your vehicle, they're already being aggressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. See that the thing about it is that aggressive behavior gets nowhere. And that's
I'm just gonna tell you like this. I sit up here, we watch these videos all the time, and I watch how the cops like exaggerate the situation, right? You know the video I can't wait to see? I can't wait to see when a cop sitting up there acting a fool, like don't you know how they show, and somebody just walk up and pop a bullet in their head right there. That's the video. I ain't gonna lie. That's the video I want to see. I want to see like when I see these cops and they slam them little girls just because they talking or whatever. Like especially when that cop slammed that little girl because she was filming her mom and that bullshit. Slammed her on her head. Right. I hate to say something. I'm gonna let you know, plain and simple. I saw that video. That woman wasn't arguing. She wasn't swinging her hands like a normal black woman. She wasn't even living up to the stereotypes of a black woman. I'm gonna let you know.
That's wrong.
You would have slammed my daughter on her head like that. I would have killed your whole damn family and would not have thought nothing of it. Period. I don't give a shit. I would have probably what's so bad? I would have probably stuck a broom. If you would have had a baby, I'd have stuck the broom up the baby's ass just for GP.
Now doing that and
but I'm just saying, plain and simple. I don't. Hey, you slam.
No, that's not wrong.
I'm just gonna let you know. You slam my daughter on the head like that, and she didn't do shit. I don't give a fuck. You can't sit up here and tell me that I done went too far after you didn't throw the first stone. You gotta take the consequences. Too fucking bad.
That's true.
That's the problem. They don't have no fucking consequences. They don't need to change no damn laws. I'm gonna tell you like this. They don't need to change no damn laws. Matter of fact, they don't even need to reprimand the cops when they do something wrong. All it takes is about 5 or 6 motherfuckers when they do some dumb shit like that to just go off and make the motherfuckers pay. That'll scare all the other motherfuckers in line. Plain and simple. If you knew, you knew that if somebody, you was doing that dumb shit and you went way above and beyond and somebody just walked up and blew your head away right there, the other motherfuckers will realize, wait a minute, it could be a nigga out here in the crowd and to come do that shit to me. Because that'll think twice. Because see, they think that they untouchable. I'm gonna let you know. I plain and simple. I don't give a fuck who it is. You can't. I mean, no offense. Them doing shit like that, lying on motherfuckers, saying they got a gun or saying they did this, that, and the other. There is no different than you coming up raping a woman or whatever. There is no different.
Hey, y'all all over the place. Y'all got to start speaking in some type of context. No, I'm being serious. If for the audience to even have an understanding of where you're coming from, you got to explain the context of what situation you're talking about. And y'all kind of jumped around.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Hold on. So let me do this since we didn't tell anybody who this other man is on the podcast. So this is a habitual line for network, right? So when we put out, we got to have one on here. So Roger, please introduce yourself.
What's up, folks? This is Roger Stevens of the Roger Report. Y'all need to check my channel out, like it, subscribe it. You ain't gonna get nothing but good content on there. One of the best shows.
Roger, whatever. No, just messing with you.
I'm forced to keep it real. It's actually one of the best. It's my favorite show on YouTube. I dare say that. I ain't heard one better. Yeah.
Hey, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
I always say, right? Roger.
All right, so let's talk about some scenarios with the police, and let's narrow it down from there. Now, everybody remembers the scenario with the little girls at the pool, right? They were having a conversation with the police officer. The police officer basically got out of pocket and slammed the little girl on the ground. Do you think actions like that are warranted? Do you think that is a fairly large occurrence. How do you think the officer would have handled that if it was another white girl? I mean, let's talk about it.
Well, I think that's totally wrong. That he just slams her just like off a general principle. I think he should be going to jail. He should be, all that good stuff. But I'm also looking at other factors of what's happening here. Before I want to know what happened before the slamming.
Oh,
but
gosh.
I don't just no. I don't. Well, wait. Let me finish. Now, if he slammed her on her head and all sorts of good stuff, just out of general principle, I want that guy to go to prison. You know why? Because he puts other cops like that in danger.
I don't want him to go to prison. I want him to spend 10 minutes in a room with the father.
That's what I'm talking about. And also spend time with that dad and let him figure out what happened. Like, why did you do that? He gets slammed. Now,
that'd been my kid.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at a lot of these videos where you do have some officers that are actually over aggressive and they don't need to wear that badge. They don't. They make all the other officers look bad. And not only that, let's say if an officer has to go on a traffic stop, that person's gonna see that video because it's gone viral. And that officer could be telling that driver, hey, listen, your taillight's out, and then the officer gets shot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna just tell you like this. Since you being so nice and cordial and shit and being fair to the motherfuckers, I'm just gonna tell you like this. When you are a person who's supposed to uphold the law in a position of power, right? This is how you know that this is how you know that there are more bad cops out there than good ones. Plain and simple. You know why? No. I'm gonna tell you, this is how you know that there are more bad cops out there than good ones, right? Because every time them motherfuckers do this shit, you never notice that another fucking cop be standing there next to him and don't say shit. Motherfucker, you ain't no better. You ain't no better than the motherfucker doing this shit.
Listen, I'm not defending the bad cops who are actually doing the worst stuff.
No. If you standing there next to the motherfucker and you watching them doing it, you a bad cop too.
Let me finish. And if you have other cops that are there watching it go down and defending him, then you know what? All y'all should be arrested because you're seeing it happen and you're not taking action.
Y'all watch the screen, by the way.
Because what happens is that he broke the law right in front of you. Just because he's wearing a badge just like you doesn't mean he can't be prosecuted just like you.
Well, plain and simple. No, they just need I hate to say, the problem is they don't get prosecuted. Think about it. These motherfuckers can indict a ham sandwich if they wanted to. But you gonna tell me that you got video? Wait. You gonna tell me that you got video and shit out there? Where's the motherfucker? That's why I told you. I'm waiting for the video when the motherfuckers act up and somebody come up and bust a cap in their ass immediately. That's the video I want to see.
But then,
I ain't even gonna lie. If that video's ever released, I'm gonna make sure I find out who the motherfucker is. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. That nigga gonna have plenty of money on his books. I make a show every fucking day for him.
Yeah, but
actually, in the context of what you're saying, see, the thing is, a lot of people don't know who works for who. The cops work for you. So if a cop was actually doing something illegal, and you're a registered gun owner, you have a right to defend yourself and other people from harm. So if you the cop just did. The only thing we know is what we know based on what video. So it's going to depend on how much recorded. So if you coming from the background and the cop is caught on camera doing something wrong and you killed the cop, you actually be in the right. The issue that you would have is the jury smart enough to understand who works for who. Most people, when it comes to police or the Constitution, what their rights are, they're complete idiots. And that's why they take something special to make sure if a person's on a jury, they always want someone who never really came into contact with law enforcement, so that they can direct the jury in the direction they want them to go.
Yep. That's why I ain't even gonna lie. I already told them like this is. I don't give a shit. Please, I told the police officer, my sons are my kids know. Don't say shit. Call dad. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm just gonna let you. My kids already know. You got into an outfit. Don't argue. Don't do nothing. I said, do
Yes,
me a favor. Just let me know. Hey, Dad, I'm snapping my fingers. That means that's all I need to know. Cause you're gonna be you're gonna be buried after that. I'm the type of person. I don't give a shit. I walk up in the police station and do it right in front of everybody. Cause I don't give a fuck if they get me afterwards.
and they will.
Well, I
I'm gonna
mean,
make an example
They
of
So
make
you.
you
videos
willing
right
to
then
die
and
for your
there.
family?
Yeah,
but
I'm
see,
really.
Vegas,
That's the problem. I'm willing. Look. I don't mind making an example. I make an example of you. I'm the type of person where you do something to my family or the people I love. I don't give a shit what. There is nothing out of the equation.
But you
Nothing.
have to.
I don't know,
you
but
just,
this is the problem. I
you
don't give a
also
shit
called
about the consequences. That's the
No, not
problem.
the consequences. I'm actually
no.
asking you,
I said you.
what if your family members in the wrong this time?
I'm
I'm
saying
not saying what they're doing is right. What if they actually committed a crime this time?
If they committed a crime, then I ain't got
put
nothing. Listen,
context on what you're talking about.
if they commit a crime, then I ain't on their side. But if y'all sitting up here
You
abusing
have
your
to.
power, you better hope. You better get. I'm like this. You better hope I get to you before I get to anybody else, because everybody that's even standing around you gonna catch it. Period.
You also gotta remember, even if you catch one, you gotta hit all of them. And even if
I
that's
don't
coming out,
care. Long as I get the one. That's the big difference. See, y'all don't realize something. Something you don't realize. It's gonna take two or three people with my point of view. They'll change the laws real quick. Yeah,
I mean, it's
I
got a
tell
valid
everybody,
point.
you want to get a fucking law change, what you got to do. Motherfucking laws don't change until innocent people get hurt.
What he's saying is valid because when you look at it, it's not going to be. He's not going on a full on war with everybody like he's John Wick. He's going for one singular person, and that's going
Mhm.
to put everybody on notice because it stands now. The police don't have consequences for their actions, so
Mhm.
they will roll up on you. They will say some crazy shit. They will put three slugs in you and then say, "Oh, I feared for my life." You could have
Mhm.
been sitting on a porch with a candy cane. They said, "Oh, I feared for my life." So at
Remember
the
the
end
nigga
of
that
the
was
day,
sitting on the porch with a cell phone and they shot him?
now
there
that
you
was
go.
wrong. That was
What? No, no,
wrong.
no. That was wrong. Going to show you how you motherfuckers so damn wrong. What about the dude they shot? And think about this, well, especially when they got the body cam, it's their body cam. And then you sit up here, and especially if you ever do some of those research and watch the whole video, and then you hear the cop telling the story because you know he can't turn the cam off. So he tell the story 3 and 4 times to other cops, and he be like, "Dude, oh, I thought he was about to hit me with the car, nigga. You was standing to the left of the car. That nigga never moved."
You mean what happened with what's that guy's name?
The dude in
Uh
Cincinnati, Ohio.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but the thing about it is they threw him in jail.
nigga shouldn't
He's in
even took
prison
that
now.
damn long. Took
See,
that damn. But
here's the deal. Oftentimes when this shit happens, these officers they get paid vacation. They might go sit in jail for a night for 24 hours, but then they get a
No, this guy's
GoFundMe
in
account.
prison now. This
okay,
guy's
think
in
about
prison.
this.
Okay,
Think about
it's one
Amber
or two
Geiger
of them.
didn't get arrested till days later until the shit got on the internet. I bet you $5 if nobody would have knew about that shit, that bitch would have never been brought up on charges.
Not
Period.
at all. And they sacrificed her. She was a woman. On average, what happens to these dudes? These dudes get a huge ass GoFundMe account. It's enough money to retire on, and they ain't got to work no more. They can go take their ass to a third world country and live like a king. So if we really looking at the grand scheme of things, if this happens to one person and one person retaliates, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, that was kind of crazy." But if it happens to a second and to a third, then they get on they P's and Q's and they say, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna actually do some changes around here
Right.
because they don't want a nigga uprising."
Right, I mean, plain and simple. I don't give it. Like, this is the difference is. I mean, if you plain and simple, I figure the system is already corrupt as it is. I've already seen some of the shit that they've done in the court system and all that shit. I don't mind sacrificing my life for a cause. I don't. And I mean, like I always said, little people don't know. If you want to get something changed, you, as I say, you want to make an omelet, you got to break some motherfucking eggs. I don't have no problem breaking eggs. I don't. And see, and I unfortunately this is the problem.
Yeah,
We don't got enough
well,
people like me that don't
because the
mind.
problem
Hey,
is
I know I'm going to die, but I'm going
this,
to die for a cause.
Judge, the only problem with you right now is you don't speak in context. Because
We
at the end
talking
of the day,
about
I
that
understand where you're coming
situation. That situation. We talking about the one right there. Dude slammed the little girl on the concrete. He would have been gone. His people would
Actually,
have
they
been
told her to
gone.
move. They told her to leave. Those kids were not invited. I mean, he shouldn't have slammed on the floor.
Okay, here's the question.
No,
But
You can't
she goes,
slam nobody on their fucking head because they didn't leave. You arrest them.
no, the thing about it is that if you're telling these, you tell them, hey, listen,
It don't mean shit. You
she keeps
cannot
going.
slam somebody on their head because they didn't leave.
Did you see the whole video? Did you watch the whole thing?
What?
Or did
How you know they weren't invited?
No, I'm asking.
Hold on, because you just said they weren't invited. You just said the kids were not invited.
They
How were they not invited to a pool party?
No, they didn't live there. No one asked them to come. They saw.
Who cares whether they live there? I'm gonna have company at my house, man. I don't have to live anywhere.
No. What I'm saying is those kids that were at that pool party, they only invited like 2 or 3 guys. They only invited like 2 or 3 black guys, and then they brought their whole friends, and they said, "No, we can't have it," and they bum rushed the party.
So let me hold on. So let me run this back so we can get some clarity on the situation. So some of the kids were not invited. However, this is a party. Yeah. This is a party with kids. Kids is gonna show up with other kids. As long as these kids wasn't over there breaking shit and throwing everything on the ground.
No, they were causing trouble.
They were being loud. They were being what kids do. But at the end of the day, none of that was against the slammed on the ground, because the officer did have to, not the officer, the city had to come out a pocket for them little kids because they fucked them little kids up. They had to come out $150,000 and settle with.
Think about it. And I'm just gonna tell you like this: if the motherfuckers gave black people a dime, they know that they fucked up. Because the motherfuckers don't admit to doing nothing in the first place. So you know if they got a dime, they must have, wait a minute, they must have already known. And think about it, you should already know when it comes to that. Somebody tell a damn lie or whatever, then what happens? People end up getting screwed. I mean, you should look at think about it. Look at Barbecue Becky. I ain't even gonna lie. What about the girl in what was that, Chicago, that said that scared the little 12-year-old boy, saying that he think about this. The woman in what was that, Chicago, she said that the woman, that the boy touched her ass and he walked by her with the backpack.
Oh, that's right, the white woman.
And then on top, wait a minute. No, on top of that, the bitch got to go to show you the difference between white people and black people. The bitch lied and said she was a cop, impersonating a cop at the time, scared the shit out the little boy. I'm gonna let you know. Just give an example. Say if that black woman was my kid's mother, right? First thing I would have done, that white woman would have got the fuck beat out of her ass. And I probably, even though she was ugly as fuck, well, fine. Since you say somebody molested your ass, then bitch, I'ma molest you. On top of that, I would have beat the shit out of the baby's mama because the bitch got on TV the next day talking about forgive her. What? This motherfucker just scared the shit out of your child, lied on your damn child, got your child all worked up thinking your child about to die for a lie, and your dumb ass say, I'm forgiving you? Fuck you.
Hey, listen, we're not gonna.
I don't give a fuck. I would have look. I'm gonna let you know. I don't give a fuck how much money they gave me. I would have been like, okay, but I definitely ain't saying a motherfucker getting an apology.
Judge,
that's an advertising event. You do not. No, you gonna sit here and try to accuse. Think about it. There's so many people wait a minute.
That are in jail because of that.
I don't give a fuck. Look what happened to Emmett Till.
Judge, we can have a conversation if you keep jumping from one subject to the next subject. We gotta talk about one thing at a time, brother.
That man is passionate. I know I chose the right subject tonight.
Man.
I see you.
Basically, we ain't shit for watching.
But my thing is,
I got a problem with motherfuckers fucking with. I can't stand when innocent people get fucked with. I got a problem when you fuck with kids.
I understand that, but there are going to be some younger people who's going to listen to this show.
Mm-hmm.
When certain,
But we did
they
say the
should know.
situation.
Subject to the subject never actually get into the details of something, then ain't nobody gonna get help. That's all I'm saying. I
Okay.
understand, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but ain't no
Your
in the
line
room
is
right
kind of
now.
compromised, man.
But all I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. For every one situation that we know about, think about it, that we even got video about, there's probably 50 of them that we don't know
And we
about.
don't know.
At least.
Thank you.
And
That
those
I
should be
show
brought to
you.
light.
Right. And think about it. Think about it. That goes to show these motherfuckers done had body cameras for what, 3-4 years now? And these
5.
motherfuckers still doing, think about it, and they still doing this shit. So it was 10 times worse then.
I
I
give
ain't
it.
even gonna lie. When every time I hear about a cop getting shot, I don't care.
No, I feel you, bro. But my thing is, let's talk about for time about what should or should not have happened in that particular scenario.
Which
That's
one
all.
we talking about? The first one with the little girl.
Okay, with even all right with the little girls. Now my thing is from the gate we already have a big message because narrative was saying where the kids wasn't invited. My thing is, at the end of the day, that don't actually happen.
Well, go back to that again because you're getting compromised, man.
Don't know it. If they weren't
Yeah.
invited,
Your line is compromised.
if like they
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
See, that's the
If the
crackers.
kids wasn't invited,
They don't-
I hate to say something. It was a party. It's always gonna be people that they don't know.
them crackers messing with his phone. That's what it is. They tapping him.
Yeah, but it's the
No,
fact
you're right.
that they
Where are
already
you?
know it's a party. I can see it. Well, it's a party. People gonna be there that they don't know. That always happens in all parties.
But especially with a bunch of kids. You got a pool. Listen, I'm coming from out the woodworks. Hey, listen, my 15th cousin right here.
Right.
He in town for the weekend. He cool. Okay, come on in.
And do you ever notice when shit go down and white people get caught doing something wrong? All they do is, well, they might have been doing something out, like they don't get, like I said, white people giving the benefit of the doubt. Black people, well, they were asked to leave. It don't mean shit. The cops could have came and told the people to leave. You see, they wasn't doing that. They were arguing because the motherfuckers realized black people know. Wait a minute, Nordine. Wait a minute, back up, because I know you sitting up here super simping for the police.
I'm not.
But,
I'm not. I'm just giving examples. I'm just giving examples. I'm not looking for anybody. Like I said, if a cop is doing something wrong and and other cops are watching them, I think, and they don't do anything, they're just as worse.
What was supposed to happen?
Right.
At the pool party. What was supposed to happen? Who's putting them out saying that they're trespassing? Who was that person?
And if you ever noticed, that shit never came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never was made aware of a person who was actually trying to put them out for trespassing. So therefore, when the cop is involved, that's not supposed to be involved when something illegal is going on. So if nobody was being asked to leave and refused, or they to qualify for a trespass, why were the cops blocking those kids in the first place?
Thank you. Because they bothered them because they was black. Close the door there.
Your line is wow. Roger.
I know somebody said something about the noise. Noise does not mean beat on people. That's why I said that.
Yo, Judge, his line is like really compromised, man.
Right. It's probably you did it. Your cop friends did it.
No, I didn't. I'm not doing anything. I'm just here listening.
I know your cop friends did it.
Nah. But I also know some. I'm not saying. And now. Oh my God, your line is bad.
Yeah, your line is bad. Leave and come back. Leave and come back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to restart. Roger. You got to restart your line again.
I'm traveling right now. I'm traveling.
Leave and come back.
Yeah, you got to leave and come back.
See, them crackers got Roger's line, but
Nordine probably called him. Nordine called him. Hey, man, they're talking about the cops, man.
Listen, it is what it is. I'm not saying anything. I'm not doing anything. But like I said, I don't like bad in anything.
Right, but I'm just But this is my thing. When you got bad, and the fact is this, It's a big difference when the person who's supposed to uphold the law and make decisions.
Break.
I've watched like plenty. No, no. I'm gonna tell you this. No, I've watched plenty of times. I've had police like back when I had my dope boy car. I remember that shit. I got
Okay.
pulled over so many times, and then I remember you were speeding. No, I wasn't, dog. I said I know you always sit there. Why would I speak? Well, we saw you go down this way, and 10 minutes later you coming back. Well, I bet you selling drugs. Well, I said if you was paying attention, you noticed when I went down this way, I had two people in the car, and now it's only one. Don't you think I could have dropped somebody off? I said, not I. Well, we gonna give you a ticket for speeding. Well, motherfucker, I'll be in court fighting the shit. And many times I used to fight the tickets all the time. I'd win all the time. But the fact is, you think about this. You get well if you let us search the car and we don't find nothing, we won't give you a ticket. I'm
Now
like,
that
you ain't
now that
taking
is now that is horrible.
they do that all
That
the
I
time.
can't stand.
I mean, and look, I was only no what 19, 20 at the time. I can relate to at least 10 experiences like that. I can me myself, and basically, I used to keep my paycheck stubs in the car. The reason why I'm surprised, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm surprised I'm alive to this day because I used to keep my check stub. Look, motherfucker, bitch, I made more money than you did this month, and last time I checked, I didn't have to violate nobody's rights to do it. I used to talk to people, yeah, motherfucker, you want to do big bank, take little bank?
Mm.
And I used to, oh, you got a smart mouth. What? I said, no, this fact is this. You think that all black people got to sell drugs. Yes, I got a car that look like I sell dope, but I'm a computer salesman. You see this check right here, motherfucker? I made 5 stacks in 30 hours. How much money did you make? You didn't make 5 stacks all month.
So you just basically fucking with the police just to be fucking with them.
Oh, yeah, I used to.
Mm.
It's like this, and people say, "Oh, that was wrong for me saying that." But motherfucker, you pulled me over and called me a dope boy.
Yeah,
So you already told me where you were coming at already.
the police always come with that bullshit. In my opinion, I think the first time I really had a heroin situation with the police, I was 16. We was driving to church. I had my friend, little sister, and little brother in the back seat, and um, I'm going through an intersection. This dude cut out in front of me. I slammed on the brakes, slide all the way through the lights, through the other side, and to me looking, going, "Oh shit, okay, we made it," and then started driving. Cop pulled me over. He pulled out his gun immediately. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
make me get out the car. He's searching the car for dope and drugs, telling me I'm finna go smoke weed and go get high. This your little boy. I'm like, what? Huh? Come again? Huh? Whoa, whoa, huh? Way, hey.
Wow.
But he's already giving me a whole backstory in a life. And I don't know if this motherfucker was having a mental break or if that was just how he saw every black person that he had come
Mm-hmm.
across.
And what's so bad? Half the time they be black doing that to you.
Oh, the salt and pepper cops, yeah, the one who be trying to make a little. Nah, this was a white dude though, but I'll never forget that shit, and it was an unnecessary situation. But it makes you wonder how many times they've done that, and it's led to them shooting somebody, and then they cover it by saying, "Well, he was a thug."
Well, think about it. The Amber Geiger, she shot the dude in his own apartment. Now you see,
Mm,
you sit up here and think that these motherfuckers, this nigga done everything right. They're like, well, we found marijuana in his apartment. Bitch, you wasn't even supposed to be there. You understand what I'm saying? They're like, well, he had marijuana in his apartment. Oh, so that means you can come into his house by accident without a warrant or whatever and pop his ass in the head while he's sitting there eating a bowl of cereal half naked.
absolute
I mean,
foolishness.
plain and simple.
Did y'all see?
Yeah, but why do people accept that? That's the question. Why do we accept stuff like that?
Because we're beaten to the pulp to when we say, you know what, we're getting different treatment. They're treating us differently. We're told blue lives matter. Oh, you just need to comply. Oh, well, the officer wasn't wrong. It was you. Well, black people are thugs. Oh, he needs to protect himself. So you just need to go ahead and follow his orders, even if they're totally outrageous and insane. You're violating my civil rights, and I'm supposed to be okay with that.
Right.
But
And right,
it's like,
I ain't gonna lie.
That's why I think we need to have a different approach. My
Oh.
approach to police officers now, because I've been messed with so much, I treat police like employees. And I think more people need to start treating them like they're employees, because that's exactly what they are. They're employees. Treat them like your employee.
I hate to say something when you tell them that crap. They don't look at when they do. Just give you a perfect
You
example.
don't tell.
Huh?
Don't tell. Just do it. Like a cop came up to me. He got the gun out. Okay. Oh, he like, get out the car, motherfucker. I just cracked my window. What's the reason for pulling me up? He started yelling at me. Same thing. Get out the car. I just don't understand why you stay saying it. I said, brother, I need to understand why we're even having a conversation right now. Because you pulled me over, I'm under. So why did you pull me over? Eventually, his partner get into he stepped up because he sees, I don't care what he's talking about get out the car. I don't care that he got a gun on me. I don't care at all. The partner tries to talk to me, and I'm telling him the same thing. Y'all have yet to learn while we're having a conversation. You're trying to detect me. So why did you pull me over? Now, once they got fed up,
Man,
anything else, but keep asking why they pulled me.
them feds is chopping his line. They tapping his line.
Yeah, man, your line going in and out, buddy.
Oh Lord,
Yeah, you gonna have to figure something else out.
Turn around and come back, as we say.
So let me run this clip since we in the interim, before we can get him to come back in a second. I'm gonna run this next clip. Now, this man was in his yard playing with his kids, right? So that the narrative is playing with the kids and the dog, I guess. And we're gonna go with this cracker pulled up on him and basically accused him.
I saw that video.
Yeah, so they rolled up on him. He said the dog wasn't his. He said the dog is mine. I got papers for the dog. The dog is mine. And then the dude proceeded to call him by a different name and try to take him in and pretend he had a warrant.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, what do you think of this? Because in all honesty, this could have been a situation where he ended up dead. Luckily, this woman was outside with him filming everything, so he may have felt a little pressure to behave or be on his P's and Q's. But we don't know how this could have went in any other situation. How many other times this could have happened to someone else across the states, and they ended up dying as a result.
What? All right, yeah, my bad, because I am traveling right now. I know I'm gonna go to some rough spots.
Yeah, those are compromised spots, man. Don't go there.
Let's see.
That's a computer term.
Yeah, you probably. But I saw that video there. Then they're like, well, wait a minute. He called me and like that dude. He's like, man, that ain't even my name. He's like, well, here's the picture. Like, dude, that don't even look like him. Even everybody talking about him. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like, oh, see, yeah, it worked. And then now everybody's sitting up here talking about.
This shit's wild. He got this man by the now. This shit could have went every single way. It would have been a war in the neighborhood, everything else. So I just can't believe the balls it took for this man to roll up on him with the wrong fucking name, and then he gonna call him 3-4 different names.
Right. So that go to show you he shouldn't even be on the force anyway, because he can't even remember something he just read supposedly 30 seconds ago. So that goes to show you that wait a minute. Yeah. If he arrested anybody after that video was released and that's the video came out, I would take the counting of any testimony that he has ever given in court, because that goes to show that he can't remember something that happened 30 seconds ago. So his, recollection of the facts is invalid.
He's a supervisor at that.
So right.
When it's a problem, yeah. When you call, he come out. Man, right. If y'all don't get the fuck out of here.
And to tell you the truth, a lot of them don't follow up on the law, and some of them don't even read it. A lot of my friends that are cops, they'll tell you that the ones that do the bullshit, they can't read.
Well,
And
plain
they
and
still,
simple.
and,
But
and
I'm
they're
gonna tell
telling
you
me,
right there, Nordine, that I'm gonna tell you, just like you said, your friends are the cops, and they allow them motherfuckers to be there. So guess what? Your friends are cops, they bad cops too.
no, they got a lot of those guys, a lot of the guys that a lot of my friends that deal with those guys, they either
Mhm.
get away from them or they arrest them.
It don't mean no
Like
bullshit. They
for
still
being,
right. No, I'm gonna let you know like that. They knowing that plain and simple. I remember I was on a talk
and it
show.
comes from the, but
Wait
it
a
doesn't
minute,
just come
Nordine.
from them. It comes from the higher ups.
You was
Nah,
on a
I'm gonna
talk show.
give a shit. You allowing the shit to happen around you, and your ass ain't sitting up here dropping dime. Plain and simple. You part of the problem. You allow the problem to
And then
manifest.
and then you got to understand they got that blue wall.
I don't give a shit. You could be dropping dime on them. You could be making videos and then giving them, handing them out to the, you can be undercover giving information to newscasters. If you ain't one of them motherfuckers doing that and you allow the shit to happen, you ain't no better. Plain and simple. If it was somebody committing a crime and you was just their friend with them, even though you didn't know they was going to do it, you're guilty by association. Guess what? You know the shit going on and you allowing the people to do it around you, guilty by association. Point blank, period. So I ain't even gonna lie. If a dude went off and just capped every cop there, even though it was only one acting up, well, hey, it was okay when he was acting up, doing y'all stood around doing nothing. So when a person come out shooting and he shot you too bad. Too bad, so sad. Like I ain't even gonna lie. Remember when they caught them two cops? It was in New York. They caught them. Somebody walked up and shot two cops in the car, and they're both dead. Think about it. Everybody talking about, oh, it's a war on cops. Evidently, these motherfuckers had to do something. Niggas don't. This is the difference between black people. Black people, we don't just go off and kill people like white people do, unfortunately. That's very rare for us. When we kill somebody, it's somebody who done something to us. Period. Imagine how many. Think about it. This was right here in Ohio. There was two sheriffs in a county. They said that they have put over 300 people in jail who did not do shit.
Like that judge who
That was
sold a
right
lot
here
of
in a small county in Ohio. They said they admitted after that. They said that these people weren't even there. They weren't accused. They would just make up crimes if something happened and put it on them.
To
Can you
me,
imagine all the family they
those
got
guys,
fucked up?
those guys are a disgrace to the uniform.
No, but those guys should be burned at a stake in front of everybody. I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
Nerdin, do you
They should
think
be
most cops are
no,
good?
they should be tied down to a bed and allowed to be raped by anybody who want to rape them. Everybody
Now,
should be. Think about it,
Damn,
But the fact is this: you have destroyed over three. They said over 300 people. Over 300 people. Think about 300 innocent people that their life is gone in jail for a crime they never did. No offense. You should have. And what's so bad? They didn't give them motherfuckers like nothing. They gave them like 4 years in jail. You didn't destroy 300 fucking lives and family members
They should get
and
life in
kids
prison.
that know growing up with no dad or mom. For real? No offense. You are the town. You are the
So what's the
world's
problem?
slave. No, you are the world's slave. If somebody having a bad day and they want to punch somebody, guess what? They should be allowed to hit you. You shouldn't be. I mean, literally, you shouldn't be able to call a cop for shit. If a motherfucker want to walk up to you and just beat the shit out of you, too fucking bad.
So
I
let
mean,
me ask you
literally,
this,
you
You asked me a question.
you cannot redeem
Yeah, I want to
nothing
ask.
like that.
So
I
Roger
did,
asked it,
bro.
and I want to know the answer too. So, do you feel like most police officers are of good character and they're out here being stand up dudes at all times on the job?
When they start, I think when they start, they try to have a good heart and a good place. But when they actually are breaking the law, I think that's when you got to take a look back and say, hey, listen, I didn't sign on for this. And the ones that are actually covering for that, like the ones that hide behind that blue wall, they're no different.
So let me say this: in order for you to be a police officer, in most states, it takes you going to
High
fill out
school
paperwork. Yeah, you get a GED.
or college.
I mean, most of them I've seen is pretty much a GED.
Mhm.
You fill out the paperwork and you have to run what, a mile and a half, and within 30 minutes, it's pretty
Mhm.
much a walk. You can pretty much walk that.
Right.
Uh, um, it's not very stringent. I know not too long ago, I know that there was a paperwork that came out by the FBI said there was a lot of white supremacists that joined law enforcement.
Yeah,
So,
those are the guys you want out of law enforcement, not in.
right. But if we're
And
really being
the ones
objective,
that are black and that are treating people like shit, those are the ones you got to get out.
I get it,
Man,
but like I
the
said,
law is
if we're if we're really being objective with this situation, it don't really take much for you to become a police officer, right? It just seemed like any idiot could do it. I don't feel like that's going to be the best situation to have a group of people that's supposed to protect everybody equally. When you have people who barely made it through fucking high school, and let's be honest, these weren't, the motherfuckers who was in the yearbook for going somewhere gonna be great. These are motherfuckers who probably was a bully in high school and said, you know what, fuck it, let me become a cop.
Not even the fact of that your barber got more training than your damn police officer do.
no, that's not true, and it don't make a difference. The problem is the law itself is white supremacy involved. The training has white supremacy involved in it. I got family and friends that people that's actual law officers. I've been explained what it says when you look what is considered suspicious. If a car has a broken tail light, that's considered suspicious. If
Hmm.
if it has some kind of damage to it, that's considered suspicious. Basically, everything they said was if a person is poor and cannot fix their vehicle is suspicious, or if they're poor and cannot fix their vehicle, that's probably the person who has committed the crime. So pull them over. It's white supremacy laid into it. So it
Well,
has nothing. So when it comes down to it, even if you look at the individual officers, if I'm pulling people over because they have something wrong with their vehicle, I'm really just chasing after poor people to support the money that the cities are trying to pull in, and they're trying to put people in prison for different stuff.
mhm.
All you're doing is a pop is supporting that stuff. At the end of the day, the laws are bad in the first place.
Okay. Just give you an example. Yes, I totally understand what you said, but the laws were put in place who? By them. So that the laws too, a lot of them laws came in place, so that just gave them police more opportunities when they did kill somebody. They have perfect, give them probable cause and more outs. You don't have to tell me that. I already know. Now
Oh,
you know
hold on a
how.
second.
Wait a minute. Cleveland got 5 different districts, right? Cleveland, the main city of Cleveland, right? Just give an example. There's a city. It's called, what is it? Lodi or is that Lindale? Lodi off the highway. When you're on the highway, just to show you how big Lodi is, the part of the highway they have. When you say entering Lodi, by the time you count to 7 seconds on the freeway at freeway speeds, you're already out of the city. Their limit. Do you know that they have wrote more tickets in that 7 seconds of freeway than all 5 boroughs did on the freeway and on the traffic stops in one year? That's so basically, if you took
I mean,
how many tickets that were wrote and set one stretch of highway, 7 seconds. You're
Mm.
only on this highway for 7 seconds before you're in one city and out of it. That's how small of the highway they have. You count to 7. They wrote more tickets and generated more revenue in that 7 seconds of highway than Cleveland did in all of their highways and all of their traffic stops on the road.
Yeah, they
That
setting
is
people up for
fuck. I
failure.
mean, if you don't believe me, look online. Literally,
no,
that's
I
it.
believe you.
That
I
what's so
believe it.
bad is it's so bad that they want the state said that they were gouging people and doing that to so much that they wanted to take that stretch of highway for them. They was talking about per quarter, they made almost $500,000 per quarter on that 7 seconds of highway. 7 seconds, not minutes, seconds. By the time you go 1,000, 1,000, 3, you're out of the area. 7, and
Judge, I believe you because I know they do that stuff to building to
mhm.
revenue. But my point was, if you have a problem with your vehicle and it's written into your training that you have a problem with your vehicle, so you're suspicious. You're basically telling anybody who's going to be on that job to look at a person as a criminal instead of a real person, just because they don't have enough money to fix whatever problem is going on with their car. Now, my thing is, I don't mind you pulling them over, giving them a ticket for whatever's wrong, because your car's got to be good enough for everybody else to drive with you, and everything's got to work for everybody. I understand that. Yeah, you should have your tail lights working, but I'm not suspicious just because I ain't replaced my tail light. That's not saying I'm.
Yeah, but if you notice how many
you write it into it, but my point is, if you write it into the training that he is suspicious because his tail light is broken, that's what I'm saying. That's where the problem come in. You're gonna have all types of problems when you write bogus stuff into the training. That's what I'm saying. It's the training that everything is wrong. You know what I'm saying? The guy who come on the first day. If I'm a new cop and I don't know nothing but what they just taught me, and I'm looking at people as criminals just because you got a broken tail light, you see what I'm saying? You're already telling me to be aggressive toward that person. This is more than likely a criminal. I should treat him as such. I shouldn't just pull him over, run his name, and give him a ticket. No, I should treat him as a criminal from Jump Street. So I'm basically being aggressive, being an agitator of things. I'm instigating things to happen because of my training. You get my point?
Yeah, I totally get your point. And that's why when you sit up here and you say, okay, fine, the law is written that way, but that don't control how you act. Now I can see if the law was written just to generate revenue. When you sit up here and you assume that the person is gonna kill you because they got a busted out tail light, that's on you. That's your interpretation of the law.
No, I get you, but that's why I'm saying they make it where cops can get away with stuff because it's already written in the training. Why shouldn't I kill this guy? He's more than likely a criminal. That's what my training. So guess what they're going to do? When he kills somebody, they're going to protect him.
Of
the
course.
problem is people need to understand more, because I'm actually going to do this. One of my shows I got coming up is going to be about rights and privileges. People need to understand their rights and what privileges are, and they need to understand. And that's why I said you got to start talking to police officers as from an employer-employee position. You see what I'm saying? When a police officer asks me questions, I got questions for him, and he got to answer mine before I answer his. Why? Because he worked for me. You go to any job, and if your boss asks you a question, and you ask your boss a question, who got the answer first?
Well, I'm gonna say this right here. This is the thing.
I know it sounds funny, but there's a reason for this stuff. The reason you got to answer me first, because for you to even address me,
what's going on?
For you to even address me, you got to have a reason substantiated of why you even get to have a conversation with me. You can't even tell me why you even get to have a conversation with me. There ain't no conversation finna be had.
But this is the problem. Wait. You watch Plain and Simple. I'm pretty sure you done seen plenty of videos like that where the guy be like, wait a minute, you don't got no reason to talk to me. Think about it. If they doing that shit on the videos with the body cameras and they doing that shit on camera, imagine what they doing off of camera.
No,
I mean, think about it. You the one carrying the camera, and you know you violating people's rights, and you think that you can get away with it. Imagine what they were doing before the cameras.
I agree with you on that, but that's why I said we got to start treating them like employees. The first thing you got to do, especially because they now have a camera, you make them give you a reason for even talking to you. Every time I'm pulled over by a police officer and I know ain't nothing wrong, he got to tell me why he's talking to me, or he does not get my name, he does not get my registration, he don't get my license, he don't get nothing. And you got to tell me why, because I'm only going to give the reason you told me.
Okay, now just how you say it right there. Look how you just go online and look how many videos that people that got arrested because they say, okay, what are you stopping me for? And then I don't have to tell you shit. What's your name? No, I don't do. What are you stopping me for? Or what have I been accused? What crime have I been accused of? Well, I understand that, but wait a minute. They said, well, somebody around the corner said that you were walking in somebody's yard. Well, let's go around there. And no, we're not going to do that. So basically, they just make up shit on the fly. Well, somebody said that you were in their yard. Well, who is this? Oh well, we're not gonna tell you who said it. So basically, I can't. You know what I mean?
Both
They
I
just
do
these
not have
both
a
these
right to
guys
face
that have
my
to be fired.
accuser.
right.
No, Judge. But see, I understand where you're coming from, and my thing is, there's some stuff you're gonna have to go along with, and there's some stuff where if you actually give the right responses, they're gonna leave you alone because they don't know who you attached to. When a police officer talks to me, I'm gonna make him establish why he's talking to me. And like I was saying, even the guy that had the gun on me that was trying to get me out the car, I wouldn't move out the car. My thing is, you ain't told me why you talking to me yet. I have basically not given you permission to have a conversation with me. And because you're trying to have a conversation with me, I'm seeing if you have permission to talk to me. So I didn't give him no information. I didn't give him any information until they told me the reason they pulled me over because my car was reported stolen. And because they told me my car was reported stolen, then I let them see my ID. And I know it was a BS story. I ain't even arguing that part. But once they got my license so they could verify the car was with its rightful owner, because that's all they could do at that point, they gave me my license back. And, I treated them like employees. I said, okay, but now y'all dismissed. You know what I'm saying? That pissed them off because I said it just to piss them off. They're like, what you mean you dismissed?
They
I
had
said,
no
you
right.
dismissed.
Listen like
You
this.
you are my, you are, no, I told them dead serious. I said, you're my employee. I don't know how you felt. So I don't know who reported my car stolen because it wasn't me, and it's my car. I own the car. Nobody else owns this car but me. So I don't know who reported it stolen. But now that you made,
What's going on?
You're going breaking
you've
up,
done the
buddy.
job that I've assigned you to do. So therefore, you are now dismissed.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh man.
Simple. They had no right to see. This is the fact. You allowed them to violate your right anyway. They had no right to run you anyway. And on top of that, I'm gonna let you know how you don't pay attention to anything. This is what happened to me one night. I was in the car. I was driving. There was 3 people in the car. They pull us over off the highway. Fine. First thing they say, you know how the rule is this. If the driver doesn't have any warrants or his license they suspended, they can't run anybody else in the car. So what they did is this. Oh, your license is suspended. I'm like, my license ain't suspended. They run the other people in the car. They got warrants. They take us all to jail. They tow my car. They take us down there. We get to the station. Oh, we made a mistake. Your license ain't suspended. And cut me free immediately. I said, well, can I get a voucher to get my car back or something? Oh, no. So I
No,
get
they keep it
I
quick
go
for you.
down there for the court date. Then I tell them, I said, okay. When the other people had court, I said these people wanted a thing. I said so they arrested, brought me down to the station, and immediately when we get to the station, all of a sudden, oh, your license ain't suspended. On top of that, they made me pay to get my own car out of impound,
Mm-mm-mm.
and my car wasn't in impound an hour. Well, you still got to pay them for towing the car, but I wasn't supposed to be towed in the first place.
Right. That
I
should be
said
on
they
the
just
city.
lied, right?
But that's the dynamic that we face, and that's what I keep saying. We as black people don't get civil rights. We are told that we are supposed to let our civil rights be violated,
Mhm.
plain and simple. Just comply with the police, live in a police state, and turn the other cheek. What would Martin Luther King do?
Mhm. No, I'm not. I'm not. See, I'm more of a Malcolm X guy. I don't mind resorting to violence. I actually prefer it.
But
Non-violence,
Malcolm X
non-violence.
didn't do that though.
I'm just letting you know. I know. I'm more eye for person. I'm not saying like this.
Yeah,
I'm not. Hey, you step up. I'm like this is the nail stand up. The nail gets hit. Plain and simple.
yeah.
I don't.
No,
I
I
don't mind
understand
even
the
being the
sentiment. I
nail.
definitely understand the sentiment. I This is
What's
one
going
of
on,
the
man?
hardest questions ever, man. I'm
What's going
sorry,
on,
I
Gab?
just
Go
jumped in.
ahead.
Y'all
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go
How
ahead,
y'all
Gab.
doing,
Okay.
man?
Introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are, to your channel, what you repping with, what you doing.
Indeed, indeed. This is Gab from Gab Talk Media. Um, whose channel is this? I just saw
This
the Hangouts link and
this is
I
me.
just
You
It's,
jumped
ain't
so
on.
shit
it's
for
my
watching.
channel. It's Donnie. You ain't shit for watching.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
Oh
you.
yeah, because at
Um,
some point you can say, you know what, one of these niggas they ain't shit. Well, you ain't
Right.
shit for watching.
yeah, no, I subscribed to you I think a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Um,
Then where the hell you at?
uh,
No, I'm just.
nah, so man, this whole topic right here is always a tough one
because you do want to hold you do want to hold yourself down according to the rights you know that you have. But in light of the circumstances of in the way that police are able to protect themselves, you're taking a huge risk if you annoy somebody who is already psychologically doesn't have your best interest in at heart. So you just have to know who you are and what you're willing to die for. You know what I'm saying? What's your threshold? And having to put up with inconvenience in terms of police, and charging you for something the wrong way or carrying out the law in the wrong way. I personally don't feel like it's worth your child going without a father, or your wife going without a husband, or whoever you're benefiting. And so you just got to make that judgment call, man. I shout out to the brothers who can stand up and it works for them. We need y'all, but I'm not mad at you. I just know it's a huge risk.
Yeah, it's a risk. I will admit, but see, I'm one of those like this is plain and simple. When the slaves were slaves, it was some slaves that stood up and either killed the masters or ran away.
Yep.
I said plain and simple. If all the slaves would have said, "Nah, fuck it, we just gonna keep living by these laws and these rules," we still be slaves today.
You're right.
So plain right. That's the thing is this. I'm a fighter. I'd rather go down fighting.
It's better to die on your feet than die on your knees, right? So, live on your knees. There you go.
I think at some point in the arrest, it does come to that. Like when you get that feeling, like, okay, this shit about to be, crazy, and there's some situations where I do believe you look, okay, I die tonight, then.
Yep. I've had a couple times where I tell, look, man, I'm just gonna tell you like this. I'm even to the point now. The wrong one crossed me, hey, man. You just gonna I'm tired of the shit. You just gonna have to kill me. So if you ready to kill me, you might as well just come on right now. I'm not gonna let you walk over.
I really think police are afraid of that black man. And if you really look at it, that doesn't happen in large numbers. And when it does, they flip the fuck out. When Christopher Dorner went out, he was out here shooting these police. What they do, they had him on the news like he was like he went and shot at the president. This motherfucker was all on the news all damn day, all night.
I love that.
They fear that kind of mentality. They feel that kind of uprising from black people because they know that if that catches on, it's gonna be a shit show.
And you see, he was only shooting cops. He had a chance to shoot other people. He didn't shoot them.
Actually, he was one.
Right.
Yeah, he was a cop.
He saw it was
by the door.
That's for Dorner. Yeah.
He what?
He was a cop. He was one.
Was a cop. He was the spook that sat by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was, I guess he became disenfranchised with what was going on. He decided to take action. He wrote that long ass manifesto and he went in there whooping ass. What's the brother out here that was in Dallas? It was a brother in Dallas who went out and launched a full on attack at the police.
Yeah, that I was talking about the one who got Gavin. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. If that happens more and more,
he was only shooting cops.
They'll switch all the way the fuck up. And I'm not advocating for brothers to go out here and so the police, the FBI, don't come knocking on my motherfucking door. Listen, don't knock on my shit. I ain't answering. But if that was to be more commonplace, there would be a lot of changes real fucking quick.
Well, I mean, plain and simple, evident. And I sit here and think, I think that they want that to happen because it ain't enough people doing it. We need I'm not even gonna lie. We need it to happen at least if we get one a month. I'm pretty sure in 6 months it'll be over. They'll make laws to change it because people sit up here and say, well, wait a minute, y'all need to get these laws, certain laws need to be reenacted or maybe make it where fine. If the cops are on duty, their body cams got to be on at all times and make it to where the videos are uploaded daily. So basically it's uploaded to where regular
To the
people
cloud.
shit to the cloud immediately. Yeah, some shit go down and your body
Now,
cam
that's a
ain't
good idea.
on.
That's a good idea.
Automatic guilty, and you're fired. I mean, literally jail time. So basically, you some shit happen and go down, you got no right leg to stand on. I
I
mean,
mean,
they
yeah, because
like
at
they
this
don't
point
need to be in the
there
camp.
is no
Look,
consequences. There's no
right.
consequences whatsoever. So they don't have a deterrent to even not think about shooting black people, other than the than having your face plastered on social media. Like I said before, they get them a vacation, they get a GoFundMe account with a fat ass check, and then they get the option. Do you want to come back? You can come back. Hey, you want to come back? You got
Oh,
350,000. Do you want to come back? Okay, we're just gonna
or
put
we'll
you on
just
desk duty
move
for a
you to
couple
another
months.
city.
And you can come on down. And
Right.
that shit's problematic. Don't nothing happen to these motherfuckers unless it's a black cop who shot a white woman. Then somehow blue
But
lives don't matter.
and here's the question. This just go to show you how the difference than anything else. Every time it's a black person and they do some mass shooting or some dumb shit like that, last time I checked, they get shot. Think about it. A black person can be suspicious and be shot and killed, where a white person can be a mass shooter, known killing people, and they take them motherfuckers alive.
I'm starting to see a whole lot of those white mass shooters getting killed now.
Lately,
Yeah,
but
they
shit.
took what you come to Burger King and shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the dude
Dylan
who
Roof.
shut up the church, Dylan Roof, he got Burger
Yeah,
King.
And now
before
he
he went to jail.
now he's looking at now he has the death penalty.
Yeah, but
So
this is the same motherfucker who's sitting up in there. Hey, listen, no, I did the shit. No, I'm proud I did the shit. They were no. We want you to plead insanity. They was trying to throw that motherfucker a bone. They did everything they could to protect that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're crazy. No, I'm not. I'm normal.
And think about it. Like, plain if he would have been a dude, it'd have just been over with. They would have never gave him that. You know. I mean, when you sit up here and think about the laws and you see the shit that goes down, and you be like, wow, if that had been a black person, you know, they don't even have to do inkling of evidence can get us thrown away with a key. Where they'll sit up here and say he had what's that syndrome where he never experienced it. Nobody telling him no.
Affluenza.
Man, that shit. I mean, think about it. Affluenza should be the perfect defense from us. Remember, y'all say that these kids ain't never been told no, and their parents give them everything. That I hate to say, every black person should be able to claim that shit. Then, you know, oh, my mom didn't raise me right, so I should be able. You know, period.
Yeah, but it's that double-sided protection. This shit is crazy. So do you think ultimately, in order for you to be a black person in America, it sounds to me that every black person should know pretty much up to a paralegal's level of knowledge on what the police can and cannot do to you when it's a search and seizure, a simple police stop, whatever you want to call it. It seems like we need to be fully educated on these matters from top to bottom, from pretty much from birth.
I think that you should be.
Definitely.
So you think we should be, because like I said, our civil rights are consistently being violated. So in order to negate that, it seems like we always have to go the extra step. And it seems like we have to know what our rights are, especially in your probably your state and surrounding states, in case you go on a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I consistently watch YouTube, right? So the majority of the videos I see are knowledgeable black men who are being obstructed by the police in some way, shape, or form, and because they happen to know.
You have an echo.
Let me see. All right, let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That was just somebody in the background. But basically, because they happen to know the law, they virtually saved themselves. Because I've seen a video where dude was at the park. I think he was snapping pictures, and it was like 8 police officers who rolled up on him. He was like, "This is public land. What's the problem?" "Oh no, we just need your ID." No. I don't need to get my ID. I'm in public. I'm done nothing wrong. I'm a private citizen. And you know, he's going back and forth with these dudes. They didn't call backup, and they looking for any old reason to fuck with him. But because he held his composure, he had a video camera. I think he navigated himself out of trouble. While any other nigga out there, that would have been his ass. So, do you think that we should? Well, first off, do you think that we should have to just know this where white people don't? Do you feel like that's unfair? I mean, give me some kind of context. And what are your thoughts on it, fellas?
I think that you should have some and you should have some awareness of what your surroundings are and what the police can and cannot do. I think that should be one, but also act like I said, when you're doing it, do it in a calm manner like the other guy did, and also when they do step out of line, always you know what, you're gonna have to treat yourself like a human camera. You're gonna have to have a phone that has like just for cameras, and then the other phone is just probably that you use to call people. That's my thing. And also the reason why they're trying to come up with the GoPro law so that way they don't get caught. That's the reason why like motorcycle riders like myself, I'm getting my GoPros ready, and it's not just for insurance purposes. If somebody just decides to run me off the fucking road, and then the cops can actually see who was at fault, but it also protects you just in case, just in case they decide to say something. That's the reason why that's the reason why us motorcycle riders are getting GoPro cameras. It's not just for insurance purposes, but it also protects you just in case
So
you get
you
stopped.
basically you feel like you got to go the extra step. Okay. What
Yeah,
about you, Gab? How do you feel about the situation? Do you feel like we should have to know pretty much the law in essence to move around out here?
I think every little bit can
helps.
help, man. Yeah, I just don't think it's realistic that we all are going to know. Like I'm gonna just be real with you. I'm not going to go and sit down and study all of these rules and shit. And
Well,
I'm
you'd
gonna
have
just be honest with you. I don't move that way. You know what I'm saying? I move in the way of, hey, let me do my best to prevent having to have any of this shit happen. And if it does happen, let me just go according to the rules, play it out in the court system.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just too much to learn, man. I'm not going to live like trying to figure out laws and shit. And half the time you don't really understand that motherfuckers are going to college for years to actually know how to interpret what they read. So you gonna sit
Right.
down as a
You mean
layman and
getting
then
that
talk
college
that
debt?
shit to these police like you know what you're saying and you done misinterpreted some shit, or you listening to somebody else who think they, who was a part-time something somewhere. But doing your best with it. I've seen people challenge police on YouTube and shit in videos and kind of, ward them off. But half the time, sometimes the reality was that if you'd have just gave the police 5 or 10 minutes to do his little investigation, he would have been
Yeah,
gone
you could
anyway.
avoid all that.
But you did get violated. Like that's a problem too. I don't like the fact that they get to violate us because we don't know the law as well. But I don't think when the motherfuckers get a call or they get some suspicion, I think they can overrule some of that shit. They can say I have probable cause and overrule anything you read.
I
You
mean,
know?
that's why I feel like we gotta have the knowledge, simply because our rights are being violated. Period. Point blank. There's nothing we can do about it. But like I said, just suffer in silence is what they want. But having to know these rights and learn
Yeah.
them from an early age, and maybe instituting this in the community,
Okay.
will shut a lot of shit down. And I'm not
Okay.
saying your motherfuckers go to church what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they got Bible class, choir practice, Sunday
Right. Okay.
school,
I see what you're
Saturday
saying.
school. You know what I'm saying? These should be inputted into our community just so everybody
And into
knows.
your smartphone.
Hell yeah, an app for it. somebody breaking it down, your rights for dummies. Because simply put, these motherfuckers violate them on a daily fucking basis. And too many people, just like you said, you should just go ahead and give them, the information, cooperate with their investigation so they can get out your hair in 5 minutes. We shouldn't have to be at that point because it maybe you have a warrant, maybe you don't have a warrant, maybe you got a warrant, you didn't even know about it. And it shouldn't be for nothing, but you got some kind of bullshit on your record. You shouldn't be accosted
Right.
while walking your dog out. You shouldn't be accosted while going. These are things that don't happen in white neighborhoods, because if they was
It's
try it
starting to
with a
happen
white
now.
person, well, I mean, to a certain point, but with the most white people, they don't have to go through these problems. And for some reason, white people seem to know this shit off the cuff. No, buddy, listen, that's my First Amendment, buddy. No, sir. No, sir, you will not. So I mean, we gotta keep up with these motherfuckers because they coming to fuck with us. They come to low impoverished neighborhoods, which are mostly us. So they specifically come to these neighborhoods to fuck with us. Judge told us that story earlier. They said his license was suspended so they could fuck with everybody in the car. Now we all know they did that shit on purpose, but in reality, does that happen to Blake and Brent? No. So we have to come up with ways to come watch guard this. I mean, one of them might have been with justice yesterday. Hey, motherfucker, just go off and pop his ass. I mean,
Yeah, but then after a while, what does that prove? It means that you know what's going to happen, and it also goes in reverse. Then they get more of those assault rifles to start patrolling the streets. Then they come down heavy-handed. I'm not saying what they're doing is right or wrong. What I'm saying is that if you have other cops that are allowing this to happen, because it doesn't just come from them, it comes from the higher ups in the department.
so
And I think that the higher ups, knowing that their officers are doing wrong and they're not fixing it, they not only should be fired, but they should be the higher ups along with the officers. They should be held to task because they're giving out the orders.
So let me say this: the higher ups are in cahoots with the peons in the force, right? And you say they'll come down harder, but how much fucking harder can you get when they out here fucking terrorizing little black girls, when they slamming black people into the concrete, and beating them the fuck up, and shooting them on camera, and then walking away with a check?
And then
I can't see it getting much worse.
I think that if they're doing that and the higher ups are allowing that, not only the higher ups should be fired and tossed in jail, but the mayor had to come on out, and the mayor should be like, oh no, we're gonna retrain everybody.
But see,
Top down.
they've been doing that shit for years, and it's been an old con
But
game.
see,
What
now
did they do?
the thing about it is now it's coming out now.
It's been coming out. What happens? These motherfuckers go on unpaid. They go on paid
every
vacation,
training shit.
paid leave. Then they get a whole bunch of money for the
Yeah,
whole
it's a
department. Yeah, we're gonna
gang.
go through some sensitivity training. Sensitivity training? What the fuck you mean?
Like, what the fuck it really even is that? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take them back through training. We're gonna have them do some online stuff.
Yeah.
No.
and,
Yeah, the
and then we're gonna
police,
go to Red
man.
Lobster afterwards.
That shit is like, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. It's hard to change
The mind state.
human behavior, especially when it's geared towards, like, when people have like racism in their hearts for another group.
You know what?
You know,
Then they can be police officers.
exactly. Like,
Not only are they putting other people's lives in danger, they're putting the people that the other officers that have nothing to do with what they're doing in
exactly.
danger.
Exactly. That's why
Because
some of these guys.
let's say I pull you. Let's say I'm a police officer and I don't know what's going on in that whole situation, right? And you just got, you're fed up and also the good stuff because you're seeing all these videos, right? And I could be telling you, hey, listen, we're doing a check, and then all of a sudden you get out and start shooting at me, all because of somebody else's actions.
Vigilante
Those guys
crimes.
need to be fired. It's the ones that are committing violations. Those guys need to be fired.
Here's my
That's
thing.
what you need to stiffen up on the law that gets motherfuckers fired for violating their own practices.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Nobody's doing that. There's no consequences for it because they
Right.
can always justify their actions by saying, "I felt threatened. I felt a threat. I felt like he was going to do something. I saw a gun. My life was in
Yeah.
danger. It was in jeopardy."
So how
Then
does
everything
knowing about the rules help if that's the case?
they
Like how does
circumnavigate every time because
And if you're,
police
and I
officers
think
are
that if you're
saying,
circumventing the thing and the officers know that, you should be that officer who's trying to circumvent that should be arrested immediately.
but they're not doing it. So I mean, what do we have in place? Black people need to really be policing ourselves at this point because
Yeah.
Yep.
the mindset of anybody who looks at a police officer when they look at them in some romanticized view, a police officer is automatically a superhero because you put on that shield, you basically put on a fucking cape, and you flying around saving the day. That's not at all what these motherfuckers is doing. These motherfuckers is getting paid what $30,000 a year
That's why I'd rather be
terrorize the
an
motherfucking
officer.
community.
to be a dickhead. And you know, they say power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. So if
I'd rather be a court officer.
I mean, at the end of
At
the
least
day,
at
you
least
got
I'm in the
power.
courthouse.
How many
I don't have
times
to
have you
deal with
heard
the
these
bullshit
police
out in the street.
officers mess with black women, making them, you know, do unsolicited, sex acts and shit to get out of tickets and do
That's
fucked up
wrong.
shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a police officer who raped a black woman in front of her daughter.
Wow.
What was the Asian dude? He was raping black women. Oh yeah,
yeah, a whole
take
bunch
this.
of
Yeah,
yeah,
take
so
this.
much shit on his record.
Bitch, bitch, nobody's gonna believe you. I'm a police officer. Yeah, that's
Right.
right. You don't want to see Superman as a rapist. You don't want to see Batman as a pedophile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no
You
bullshit,
you
Joe.
you
Right.
see the bright
That's what,
parts of him and you ignore everything else.
that's the reason why if I'm
Real talk.
going into law enforcement, I'd rather be a court officer in the courthouse. At least I know I see more felons in the courthouse than out in the street. Because there's a difference. I mean, they all do the same job. It's just that their job may be a little bit different. They don't have to, go out in the street and I don't have to be subject to all this other good stuff. Plus, it's up to the judge to set you free or whatever. It's not up to me. I'm just following the orders of the judge. That's about it. At least okay, you know what? Hey, at least he's not, being a total dickhead. But the thing about it is that if the judge says that, let's say I'm in the criminal courts or whatever, that's one thing, But I'd rather be a court. A lot of my friends who are in the NYPD, they're now going into what's known as the New York State Court Officers. It's its own agency, but they work with it. They work in the courthouse. They work in the court system. So at least you get to see what's going on. You're not on the street. See, if I'm gonna do that, I listen.
So
I don't
you hear
want
this,
to be
brother
running
Sam.
after people. I want to be running after people. I don't want to have to be doing this. I don't want to do any traffic stops. At least I know who's bad and who's good. You're in a jumpsuit. Know what's going on. That's that. That's all I want right now.
So okay, so that
The
being
only time I
said,
want to deal with that is when you trying to shoot up a courthouse. After that, that's it.
all right. So that being said, so let's do it like this. Let's talk about the police officers that are black men. So when black men from the hood, from the neighborhood, from around the corner, they become police officers. Do you feel like they how do I want to look at this? They basically step into the dark side of the force. These motherfuckers basically jump in and turn into that I'm not black, I'm blue. Do you see them as still being a regular everyday average Joe? They just happen to be a police officer.
Well, I still see them as that, but sometimes, like, if their attitude starts changing to where they feel that they're better, then yeah, But like I said, unless because a lot of my neighbors are cops, and they say that they have it rough, and they even tell me, listen, those guys that hide behind the blue wall of silence and do a whole lot of craziness, that's not us, but we actually arrest them. That's what I was trying to tell Judge that yeah, those guys that do that and that try to get away with that, they handle that internally, but they also make examples out of them. See,
so
and
do
then not
you
only that,
think
they don't
you think most of the cops that are out here playing cowboy basically are
not
getting
cowboy.
caught?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, doing the bad things.
the ones that make them all, the ones that embarrass the uniform, that
You
are
think that
disgraceful
they're
to the
all
uniform,
getting caught?
the ones that they're getting caught. They're not like getting like arrested, but they're getting caught now. Now you see what's happening. See now when those body cameras are coming out, now
So they're not
they
getting
try to
arrested,
run.
but they're getting caught. Is that what you're saying?
Hmm? Well,
So,
like if it's like if it's in like an internal affairs thing, you can't run from that. They'll tell you can't run from that.
okay, but you do realize, just like with a child, right? When you catch a child doing something wrong and there's no penalty, that child's can go right back into that cookie jar,
Yeah,
go
I
right back into
understand.
the room. Getting caught don't mean shit to me if there's no punishment.
But now, like I said, now they're getting punished. I mean, it's not like you know the cameras, the body cameras, even though they're trying to hide them, even if they're trying to hide them, somehow, some way, they're getting stored to the cloud server. A lot of these new cameras are now hardwired into the cloud, so when they turn them on, the cloud is watching.
Right, but okay, so somebody's watching. If they're not getting in trouble for it, uh, what's the point of us watching? I mean, you saw what they did with Eric Garner. Eric Garner, we all saw that.
Yeah, I
Nothing
know.
happened. So,
Well,
I mean,
actually,
no
it's
consequence.
a big thing.
Do you feel like these people are getting caught, but if there's no consequence, and there's a good amount of them and they're growing, and people are constantly being shown that there's no consequence for doing shitty things, do you think that it's going to get better for us?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just going by what I'm seeing. That's all I'm saying is that,
So what I'm seeing is basically these police officers has basically have been able to get away with murder, literally, and there's no consequence. And people like you were saying, well, cops aren't bad. Okay, cool, but we're
no,
seeing more
some
and more.
cops are bad.
Okay, do you feel like it's a majority or a minority?
I think that that if you talk to a lot of them are good people. It's just that you do have some that are fucking it up for everybody else.
Well, shit. I mean, I'm sure they said Hitler was a good person. You know what I mean?
I'm
I'm
not
sure they said
saying
like a lot of the Nazis were good people. I, I mean, so you feel like the majority of police officers? Do you feel like there's a lot of racist police officers? How about that?
yes, yes,
So so if you feel like there's a lot of racist police officers,
who
do you
shouldn't be
think
wearing the
that?
badge.
Well, okay,
They're
fair
to
enough.
me,
So they
they're
should
to
be.
me, they're to me, and to those that actually serve and put their lives on the line. Those guys, the ones that are actually doing the fucked up things, are disgrace to the uniform.
So let's say there's 60%. There's 60% racist police officers, and there's 40% who don't have a racist bone in their body. That's still 60 police officers doing fucked up shit.
Yeah,
And then
So
there's 40% of them that's allowing the other ones to do the fucked up shit. So
see,
even though they
those are
ain't
the ones
doing the shit,
those
they
are the ones
allow it,
I
so they
want off.
just as bad.
there you
Those are the
go.
ones we want off the force.
But I hate to say the ones watching them, we want off the force too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
talking
at this
about.
point,
Clean up
So,
the.
so basically,
They
they
want a
go.
we're
clean
dealing with a
slate.
lot.
They're plain and simple. They just need to disband them and fire them all and start over.
Yeah,
And I ain't even gonna lie. I'm to the point like this. They need to fire them all. It would be better off to fire every police officer and the ones that and not allow. If you are a police officer now, too bad. You lose your job. You go into another field and trained up new. You can't even get
until they get
but
a
listen.
handle on this mess.
Well, it don't even matter because I hate to say the system is so corrupt. There's no saving it. You got to fire them all and not even allow them to. I mean, unfortunately, yes, people gonna get hurt. Some people gonna lose their livelihood and shit like that. But the system is so corrupt. You need to fire them all and train new ones. Period.
I mean, that's basically what it sounds like. Because motherfuckers who aren't doing terrible shit, are allowing the terrible shit to go on, and then
Right.
they're all high minded blue shield at this point. Well, listen, we don't want to tell on Ramirez, even though he went and fucked up that whole black family. He drove through that neighborhood playing training day shit. We're not gonna speak on that.
See, me,
there's one thing you can one way I think you can fix it. And you would have to institute, once a officer uses his gun, he now is on desk duty. Period. You got one time to use your gun. That's it.
I think you need to be deeper than that. In all honesty, when you look at these police officers, if at any point in time you have an officer in any of these situations, automatically the officer's job is gone. If there's any question as to what happened, job is gone off top. There's no paid vacation. There's no sitting up and.
But you also got to look at the dynamic of the situation.
That's cool, but anytime there's a situation where it's questionable or it looks suspect, automatically that officer's off the force. That's the start. Second, we need to go ahead and put this in front of a jury and get this popping. If it's questionable,
immediately, not 2 years later, 30 days.
Well, you know what? I was saying, if you use your gun, period.
Oh no!
Now you have desk duty.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of police officers
justified.
that make the gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's justified. There's situations where it's justified, but you look at that man in Florida where he was laying down on the ground with his hands up.
Oh, next to the retarded guy.
Right. They shot
him anyway.
Why you shoot me? Automatically, dude should have been off the force and sitting in a jail cell.
Because you almost killed somebody.
And what's so bad is, think about it, for how long they talked. It ain't like, you know what I mean? This is how you got to know to go to show. If you know to watch that video, he was talking to him, telling the dude and he was talking to police officer. And what's so bad is, they even said before the video was even started, he was still had the black guy that was laying down who got shot was still talking to the police. So it ain't like, you know what I mean? So he was talking to the police for a long time. And they still got shot. I hate to say that. I ain't even gonna lie.
Even though you see that the guy's talking to him and has his hands up, he should be in prison.
But
I don't understand why he's that. See, now that to me, that is what gonna get other officers killed.
But there's a large amount of this shit.
Not only are you looking at an unarmed person literally having his hands up and you still shoot him? To me, that
okay.
What
about the guy? What's the guy's name that they said where the cop? They had a video of him, and the guy, he owed child support. Basically, that's what happened. So he ran. The cop shot him and then threw his taser on the ground next to him, saying that he stole the taser.
Prison.
What was it?
Prison.
No, but prison. No, they should have just capped. No, they should have just capped his ass right then. Plain and simple. He shot the dude in the back, swore up and down he had a gun and did like this. You automatically lied. They should just pop a bullet in your head right now. If they popped a bullet in his head right then, that would stop other cops from doing that shit. Because this motherfucker blatantly lied, then shot the person, unloaded in his back, and then planted a gun on him. Think about it. If that guy wasn't standing back there, no, they not prison. He should have been capped. They should have capped his ass right there.
That's where we are. That's exactly where we are in life right now. These situations keep going and keep going and keep going. It's a fucking shame. I mean, really, the solution is we need to be putting these motherfuckers under the jail. But it's not happening. Black people need to be getting together and acting a whole fucking fool. And I'm not saying riot or anything like that, but we need to go down to these laws, to these politicians, to these city governors, and
I'll finish it for you.
And be on their ass.
Nah, they don't need to do that shit. Plain and simple. This is what I'm gonna tell black people. No, they need to riot and do shit. I ain't even gonna lie. But this is what you do.
FBI,
this is the problem. This is the reason why.
His door and not mine.
I'm gonna let you know. This is the reason why your riots and shit don't work. When you riot, you tearing up your own neighborhood. No. You tear up their neighborhood.
You need our weave.
No. But this is what I'm saying. You tear up their neighborhood. Because this is what happens. When you tear up the poor people's neighborhood, people are like, well, it was already fucked up in the first place. But if you go tearing up rich people's neighborhood, then rich people gonna be like, wait a minute, we pay our shit, we pay these high-ass taxes, and y'all motherfuckers got your cops going gung-ho, so now motherfuckers that don't know me coming tearing up my shit.
Well, you know, most of the time when they do go on riots, they don't touch black-owned neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, my thing is,
no, what I'm trying to say is this. No, when they go tearing up shit, instead of being like in the inner city, go out to the suburbs.
You mean like
where they got the houses on acres and be tearing up shit up there? I mean, literally. That'll definitely stop them.
We need our ish. We need our weave. I don't wear it, but we need it.
Right.
None of that is going to be effective as an actual policy.
No.
The policy should be if you use your gun, period. I'm not saying questionable circumstance. You use your gun, period. It should be a long period of time before you can even use a gun again. Therefore, there's no power tripping. The problem we have is people power tripping because they do have a gun. If you use your gun one time, it should be like at least 10 years before you're allowed to carry the gun as a police officer again. You got to get the power tripping out of the situation. Period. Right or wrong, you used your gun. You're done for the next at least 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do your job properly.
You also have to worry about the unions and also the craziness. And there's a whole lot of shit that goes on to that.
Yeah, but the policy needs to change, regardless of unions and all that. You have to have a policy in place. If I can use my gun as many times as I want to, I can power trip, period. The law ain't the problem. It's the fact that a person can power trip because no one's going to hold them to task when they do. You got to remove power tripping from the scenario. A cop can talk real tough, but if he know he used that gun one time, he done using the gun for like the next 10 years, which is just a suggestion. You can make it where he never used the gun again. But I'm saying it's got to be something serious. You use your gun one time, at least 10 years, now you're on desk duty or something like that, or whatever the case is, whatever it is, but you're not even in the field no more. So we can't even get to the point of you just hurting random people. Because we're not gonna give you that power.
Here's my question. These motherfuckers who's fucking up these black children, who's beating up who choking out Eric Garner and all these situations, they're not even using guns. So, what are you gonna do with these individuals?
If you change the dynamic of power tripping, a lot of that's going to stop immediately anyway. They're only doing that because they know they have a gun, and we know that they can use the gun if they choose to. If we all know police officers can only use their gun one time for a long period of time, they can't get into BS the way they are now.
Or what you do is too. Maybe make a law where the cops make a law where the cops only can carry one bullet.
I don't know about that one.
Think about that.
It's not gonna happen.
No,
I bet that'll show you. You'll think twice, won't you?
It's a different dynamic, but in these places where the police don't have guns. I will say I think I have to take a look at London. But the police don't have guns out there, so they can't be reckless. They got a little stick and a whistle, but that's about it.
That's the patrolman.
No, it's a lot of things where police don't carry guns.
Now when it comes to serious, now when it comes to some,
a lot of countries where they don't have guns.
But that's not going to work in the law.
Yeah.
But then you have to also understand that. Remember, then you have to really realize. Then all of a sudden, then you have these active shooters that are happening. These active shooter incidents. What happens then?
If you're allowed to use your gun one time, you can take care of an active shooter. It's not an issue. You just don't have time to waste it on BS. Now you got to save it for the active shooter.
Or the bank robber. Or
whatever.
Or the guys that are bucking at each other, like South.
No. You got to fuck for something useful instead of anything.
I mean, it's complex. I mean, Gab is right. When we get in these conversations, there's a whole. I mean, I'm just going by what we're talking about here.
Ain't nothing complex about it. You do your job, and that's it. Ain't nothing complex about it.
You say you shoot once as a rap. It makes sense to a point. But you know, there's a lot going on other than that. Because if you look at it, yeah, they still only power trip on black people as opposed to white people. They say white people are more likely to shoot at, or point a gun at the police than black people. So automatically, they should be more afraid of white people than they are ever afraid of black people.
Well, when they said do a study, white people commit more violent crimes than black people. Like it's like almost like 2.5 to 1. I mean, literally, white people.
Frequency.
Right. Not even the fact of that, but white people. There's been times where white people can talk about killing the police, point a gun at the police, motherfuckers never die. I mean, literally, you could be sitting on the porch with a cell phone and get shot.
But what about
you can be laying on the ground next to a retarded dude holding the truck and get shot? You know, they didn't shoot the guy. They didn't. And think about it. He got shot in the leg. So you see, that dude was sitting up. You would have thought if he did get shot, he would have got shot like in the arm, the parts sticking up. No, you definitely were aiming at the black dude. Because otherwise, you got shot the dude in the damn leg. So you almost hit the ground where the dude was sitting up. You gonna tell me that your shot was that far off if you wasn't trying to shoot him? Come on, man.
Well, that's the point of you got to change the policy in order to bring some of it down. You ain't gonna fix it to bring some of it.
Definitely.
And if people can retire without ever using their gun, I'm sure people can get through 10 years without the ability to use their gun.
Uh-huh.
You know, somebody got to work the desk anyway.
Well, not even the fact of that. What they could do is this. They really want to do that, encourage that. If for every you get a bonus every year you go without using your gun. Pay them not to.
Yeah, but there's no penalty for the shit, so they're gonna keep the shit rolling. And at this point, I don't know. What was your first option? You said pop him in the head.
Oh, I mean, no. When they do it, this is how you know it ain't funny. You ain't never, even when you see the video when they own, like when the people are catching them doing shit, and one of the cops start doing something out of hand, you never even see the other cops like, hey, like, let me take over. I'll handle this, that. You don't even see them doing that. And now there's not one video where a cop has been, like even when they talk about it, even when the people ended up winning their cases because the dude went way far beyond, and they come out on TV saying, yeah, the guy needs to be retrained, this, that. If you ever notice, not one other cop during any of those videos try to be like, look, I handle her. Come here, I got this. You know what I mean? You tripping like dog, like on a slide, but like, okay, I got her, dog. You go ahead and talk to them. You know what I mean? You never see them even do that. So they don't even try to like pretend, like even like pass the buck, not pass it. What do you call it? We're like diffuse the situation. Like, nope, I'm just gonna let him get his jollies off and do what the fuck you want.
What? That's what I was saying earlier. You got to address every situation properly, because earlier when I was saying, you said you let the cop violate your rights already by running your name. Right. I understand that, but my thing is you have to go according to the world we live in. The world we live in today, you can't fight every single thing. So, by example, them telling me stolen, at least is giving me some type of reason to pull it over. Well, once you tell me that, I can solve that by showing.
Well, that's different if they tell you it's stolen. But I think about it when they do those reaction videos where the people got the camera on and they just walk by a police station, and they just filming or standing on the sidewalk, and then 5-6 cops come out and harass them.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of them videos but if you were But no, look, watch them videos. Them people do that on purpose. Because you like literally, that's one of those things that they call them, what is it, compliance test? He's like, no, I'm allowed to do this. And it's like, it's been times where the people hurt. And like, if you notice, sometimes the cops do find out about it. And it's been times where the cops been getting rough and like getting, like, watch some of those videos. The cops be getting overexcited. Then there'd be one or two cops that'll come out and be like, oh shit, we know who these people are. Them the people that, you know, and got a couple of us busted. And they calm them down then. But see, I noticed they don't never calm them down when they at the scene or they sitting here acting a fool with somebody. But like when they realize, wait a minute, this is a setup. And a lot of times when they are getting set up, they still act a fucking fool. And they know it's a setup. Just because it's like the fact is, I mean, like I said, that power trip and the fact you can't tell them nothing. And I lie. The worst thing you can do to weak people like that is hurt their feelings.
Mm-hmm. No, but my thing is to get paid. Now I understand some people just don't like the way they want to act. Mm-hmm. But the reason I do what I do, they cross the line, I'm setting them up so they can be sued.
Yeah.
That's the whole. I'm letting them know I know enough.
And how many?
But you don't need to be talking to me at all.
But how many of them cases do people actually win? I mean, no offense. So many black people been accused of so muchness that, no offense, we'll get reparations first before we even get them motherfuckers to comply on that shit. We got a better chance of getting reparations.
My point is, I don't go to the police station in the first place.
I'm just letting you know that though. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying we got a better chance of getting reparations for slavery than we have to do with the cops violating our civil rights.
I understand that, but what I'm trying to do is say something individual can use right now today. That's what I'm saying. This is something you today. Today you can start, understanding they work for you. You don't work for them. When they address you and you know you've done nothing wrong, make them establish the reason they address you in the first place. Once you solve that issue, there is no going down to the police station.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it. Okay, so let me jump into the next, and then we're gonna do this as the final statement out. What do you think should be done when you see a fellow black person, somebody you don't know, somebody you've never met before, but you may have walked past and you get a little nod or whatever, and then all of a sudden the police come to fuck with him and harass him, and you just happen to be in the area? What is your response? How do you respond? Judge, you want to go first?
Well, first thing is you definitely, a lot of times if you're not involved, you better make sure that you go live immediately if you can, or at least record the crap. And as you're recording, make sure that you're talking, don't be talking loud. Like if you can hear something, if they're talking, make sure that your camera can record their voice so they can hear what's going on. Make sure you get good footage. Make sure you turn your damn camera to the side so that the video come out right. That's the major thing. But I mean, definitely. And all of this, as black people, period. I mean, you always got to make sure that you keep your phone 50% charged or higher, because you never know when some shit going down. You better get you one of them portable batteries too and carry that.
You mean portable charger?
Going down, it ain't funny. It's not funny.
Okay. A portable charger.
Yeah, I know. I said, but right. So much of this shit going down. It's not funny, man.
You want to rep
you
your
might
channel?
have people like New Rig over here that's gonna be like, oh man, they didn't do shit wrong. I'm messing with you, dog.
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh,
I know. I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with
Thanks.
you.
All right, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Judge. Always have your phone or your portable camera ready. That's why if you have like a GoPro, get one of those shoulder mounts or whatever, or like the chin mount. So that way, if it does go down, and make sure the mic is on and everything like that. So that way, and if they ask you why, can you turn the camera off? Just ask them why. Is there something you're doing that's wrong that we should know about? They'll stop immediately. or if they continue to be dumb, at least and not only that, make sure it's backed up to the cloud, please. Make sure that make sure that all your stuff is backed up. So that way, when they do come on out and say it, let them first of all, you let them talk and let them say their statement, and then when the
Catch them in a
truth
lie.
comes out, yeah, always make sure you can catch them in a lie, and just say, hey, listen, you're about to commit perjury. So if I were you, I'd stop talking. But if they want to keep going, let them. A lot of times you gotta think. Always use this as always use this as chess, not checkers.
Mm-hmm.
So always plan 30 steps ahead, because they're gonna do the same thing when they're getting sued.
I mean, it makes sense.
And make sure, like you said, it's always live.
I co-sign it. Roger, what about you, Roger? I know he gonna
automatically record, but mine would like be going instantly to YouTube or instantly to Facebook. Something automatic where it doesn't make a difference how much film you got. You know,
Right.
it needs to be uploaded. Period. Because if they destroy your phone or your camera, you know, to stop the video from getting out, the video already out. You know, just that simple. They can't get a hold of it and mess it up if you already put it out there. Secondly, my thing is, if a police officer address me, see if I see something going wrong with another black person, I just automatically stop what I'm doing and start recording. If they talk to me, all I'm gonna say is, I'm over here. I'm not obstructing you from doing your job. I'm not involved in the situation. That's it. There's nothing else I need to say at that point. You know what I'm saying? And police officers aren't stupid. There are certain words and phrases that you use, and they understand what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling them I'm not involved in the situation. I don't know the other party. I'm not obstructing you from doing your job. You see what I'm saying? So basically, you just laid out. There's no reason for you to even be having a conversation with me at this point. So basically, go ahead and do your job, whatever you feel your job is at that moment, and basically stop talking to me. I'm not gonna say anything else because, you know, I got a right to remain silent. I don't have to discuss nothing with him. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, I'm gonna put the cop in position for him to do something illegal to continue to engage with me.
Well, you sound like you thought about that one quite a bit, huh?
Man, you gotta know a little something. If you been, trust me, I don't get fooled over by the police. You know what I'm saying? I started learning stuff because I knew it was gonna help me.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Brothers, you pretty much said everything I would have said. You know, I always believe in Facebook Live, Instagram Live, something that goes directly to where people are going to be watching. In addition to that, you know, if you can take as many steps back as possible while still being able to watch and see the video, that's wonderful. That lets them know you out the way. Ain't really shit they can say to you. Hell, they might not even see you. And when shit goes down, you just need to dip up out the back and show up with the footage later and pop his ass. You know, when the police talk to you, it shouldn't be no whole bunch of extra. Give them the basics. Hey, listen, can I get your ID? Nope. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, am I being detained? You know your state's laws and move on them. You know, I'm not trying to give nobody legal advice. But basically, shit, you should know what the fucking law is. There's no reason these individuals should be fucking with you unless you give them a reason to fuck with you. Plain and simple, don't. Aside from that, you know, this has been another episode of You Ain't Shit for Watching.
Oh, Donnie, hold on one second. Let me get one thing in before you shut down. One thing is, black people, I think we need to do, because this happened to me in my youth. There's a certain friend I have, and when I hang out in his neighborhood, like the block watches out for the block. So like one time some cops pulled up on one of our guys. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know what I'm saying? We with them. It was like 3 or 4 of us. They pull up, guns out and all that. They have no reason to be talking to us. That whole block comes outside. If they see one police officer, everybody on the block comes out and looks. See what I'm saying? Basically, we're going to surround them with witnesses because that's the culture of that block. It's hard for them to get away with a lot of stuff over there. So that should be like a culture amongst black people. You see a black person getting bothered by police officers, whatever the case is. If you have time, now I understand if you're driving to work or something, you can't do it at that moment. But if you see something going on, just stop and start watching. but that should be a culture. So you can't. You can tell one person to stop looking at me or go step all the way back and all that. But when the whole now, there ain't really much an officer can do at that point.
All eyes on me.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. All black people need to be on each other and watching each other at all time. If we start showing up as a mob, these motherfuckers will be afraid to do anything to us. So yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. At the end of the day,
But
this is another episode of You Ain't Shit for Watching. And I want to thank everybody for coming on here. Judge, Neridian, Roger Report, Habitual Line Steppers. We out.
take it easy.